give a little bit of rotation, push the tape down, finishes on the outside. Today I'm going to run through my version of a low dye or moccasin strapping tape for the foot. I use this in the physio clinic quite a bit, particularly for medial tibial stress syndrome, which we commonly refer to as shin splints, or plantar fasciitis, which these days we would call plantar fasciopathy. And I also use it a lot with people that have got Patello-Femoral pain, so pain at the front of the knee. The taping is a little bit complicated. It's almost impossible to do on your own foot, but if you follow these step-by-step guidelines, you might be able to get someone to do it for you. So the first thing that we do is we put 3 strips from the heel to the ball of the foot, basically one down the center, one to the side, one to the other side. Actually, I normally start here and I pull them back. So you want to make sure that you're starting round about the ball of the foot and you're finishing just over the heel. Too long is going to go too far up the Achilles, and too short, it's not going to make its way around the corner. So that's about long enough. So first one's in the middle. Hold it down, pull it taut. Make sure you don't have any little creases in it, because that's going to be uncomfortable to walk on. So first one is central. Second one fans out from the big toe. Hold it down, pull it tight. Make sure that it's adhered down into the arch. And the third one comes up from the little toe side. Hold it down, pull it tight, adhere it down along the foot. So that's the first part done to support the longitudinal arch. The second part of the strapping tape is to kind of recreate the arch by bringing the heel inwards and bringing the toe around in the other direction. You might even see there that I'm sort of recreating the arch by doing that motion. So we're going to apply tape that pulls towards the inside of the heel at the top end, and at the bottom end it pulls towards the outside of the foot. So we measure each one so they roughly finish and start and finish in the same place on the inside and outside of the foot. So this tape starts on the outside and we pull inwards, trying to create an inward turning force. The next one's going to overlap by about a half tape length. Try and get the start and finish to be roughly matching on each side. Pull in, stick it down. As we get to the center of the foot, we probably don't try and twist quite so much. It's more of a direct placement straight on. So a couple like that. Straight on. And as we get towards the big toe, we're going to try and perform a rotation that way. So the tape now is going to start towards the inside of the foot. And we give a little bit of rotation, push the tape down, finishes on the outside. Same again, outside of the foot, a little bit of a twist, make sure the tape's stuck down, finish on the outside. One last one just to cover those final bits. On the outside. outside of the big toe, a little bit of rotation, and finish on the inside. Now the final bit of taping is to cover all of these loose ends, and if I've measured them well, one bit of tape will be enough. Looks like at the moment I've got one piece that might jut out a little bit, but it's very useful if you measure this tape up fairly accurately. It's too short. That's about right. So we start on the big toe side. Make sure there's no creases because that'll be uncomfortable. Across the back of the heel, on the outside of the foot, and smooth it down. Now, if I've done a good job, what you should see is there's no bits of strapping tape jutting out above, and just here that one's probably a little bit too short, and on the other side you can see it's pretty much covered everything up. So this is my version of what's often called a low dye tape. Some people also call it a moccasin tape. It is a little bit complicated, but it's very, very helpful.